things together. And by doing that together and promoting ourselves and the organization grows. And that's how we can make Starfleet a better place, by remembering that on the other side of those computer screens and stuff, there are real people. We react differently on that screen than we do in person. Let's start talking about each other as if we were in front of each other.
This is Admiral Gumby again. What is the number one thing that I feel would make Starfleet better? Quite simply, the most important thing, communication. We break down on so many levels, whether it be international level, regional level, local level. The lack of communication in Starfleet is our number one problem.
I agree with Admiral Gumby and Admiral Westfall. The communication is really bad when it comes from the top down. We have RCs that don't even relay some information to the chapters. Basically, without members, there's no need for a CS. We have to put our members first. We need to have better communication and try to actually respect our members. If you have an issue on a chapter and somebody had passed away, you should be able to take the time and say, hey, we're sorry, do you need something? Try to be caring for the people we have under us, because without members, there's no Starfleet.
Any children in the room? Of course, I agree with all three of all the above. We have a lot of people who are just bitching and moaning and being mean to each other. Keyboard bullies, if you will.
Keep it safe.
We need to remember that we are friends, we are family. We all have a common interest in Star Trek, science fiction, and that's what brings us together. And we need to just stay together and bring more people and have fun. Thank you.
The bad thing about families is families fight.
Yes.
They do it all the time. And it doesn't mean that there's no love there. It doesn't mean that people have miraculously stopped caring about people. It's human nature. I'll take the odd man.
Why? Because it's close to green?
Yeah.
It's an element of green, yes.
Oh, this is a good one. What is your personal view and goals as CS on the issue of disrespectful discussion and personal attacks on public communication, such as SFI lists? I think this is Admiral Gumby again, I think this actually goes back to my wanting to administer Haldol via crop duster, especially to those members of the list. I wish that they had a little needle inside your keyboard that if you start typing too fast or too angry, it injects you with something that calms you down. Because our communication, as bad as it is, now travels at the speed of light. So before one person even knows there's a problem, other people have already identified the problem, taken the problem under a microscope, come up with 26,000 ways on how you can combat the problem, and meanwhile, 6 people on the listserv have already quit Starfleet because mommy wouldn't let them play in the same sandbox. So my solution to this is that we all just try and remember, like Bob said, that there, on the other side of that computer screen is a live person who has feelings, who has emotions, who is just like you. They get angry when they read something they don't like. They get happy when they read something that they do like. Maybe we can all agree on that, no matter who wins.
Crop dusters, all right.
This is Steve Permley. I agree. To be a CS, you have to be diplomatic. You have to be able to have a positive attitude. Yes, it is a family. Yes, we fight. Yes, we bitch, moan, and groan, and complain. However, you have to be diplomatic. You have to be respectful, because if you don't have that from the top, then why is it going to show? It's like it's bleeding the blind. You're not going to have any positive attitudes from anybody under you. If the CS is negative, you're going to have chapters negative. You're going to have RCs negative. You're not going to have anybody that's trying to be respectful to everybody. So it starts at the top and filters down.
This is Reed Bates, teamcodechange.org. And yes, we do have to remember that we can't stop communication because we want people to communicate. And yes, some people get angry, and we need to have people who just maybe take a few minutes before you actually hit that send button, because it does affect other people. Your negativity, your bitching, your moaning, and just think about it, or maybe change your words a little bit, or think about how you would feel in the other person's position before you hit that send button. We do have moderator rules and list rules, and maybe we need to review those a bit and be a little more strict. And I know that a lot of the moderation does go in private, so you don't see that the moderator has given the person a warning. But maybe we do need to look at some of these things. Thank you.
This is Gumby. I'd like to add that respect is a two-way street.
Briefly, very briefly.
Okay. Respect is a two-way street. In order to get respect, you have to earn respect. And I also think that the CS should always be the first person to extend the olive branch on behalf of the organization.
And just so you know, Gumby, we're deducting 10 seconds from your next question.
Okay.
You don't get any help
You
at
do
all.
the crime, you do the time.
This is Robert Westfall. This is a very interesting question to answer because I've actually had some people comment to me about this before. And the first thing I would have to say that was thrown out to me was moderation. And I'm sorry. Many people may know where I stand in real life politically, but I'm not about censorship. I understand that people run wild on the list. It's like I said earlier, you need to remember there's real life people on the other end of that screen, on that keyboard. We have to start moderating ourselves if this organization is going to survive. We're going to have the conflicts on the SFI list. We're going to have conflicts on the AB list and the ECAB list and all the various lists that Starfleet has. You're not going to get rid of that because we are a group of people, IDIC people, we're a group of people from different cultures that disagree. And sometimes we get passionate about an issue, we get that in our craw and we run with it because that's how much we believe in it. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but what happens is you end up with a domino effect. A CS needs to lead by example. If your CS is doing something like that, then yes, everybody else is going to feel they can do that.
10 seconds, Robert.
So the CS needs to lead by example. Don't run with things like that. Don't play into them. If you will, be the olive branch, be the oil on the water to calm the sea. But don't stop people from voicing their opinion, even if you disagree with it.
Such a difficult choice there. Oh, wait, there's a purple hide. Take the purple? I'll take the purple. It was calling you.
This is Steve Perlman, and the question is, why do I want to be commander of Starfleet? I've been a member for 10 years. I came into it for the love of Star Trek. I met a lot of nice people. But unfortunately, the last 10 years, there's been a decline. It's not as fun as it used to be. The communication has gone downhill. And like Gumby and they were saying, the promotions are too top heavy. Everybody's being awarded for something that's not done anything. And we have a lot of people out here that is busted to the rears to help with ICs or help with this, and they're really diligently working on their chapters, but they're not getting no recognition for it. And I believe that should be changed drastically.
This is Reed Bates. I am running for Commander Starfleet, not because of rank or how everybody will treat me or anything in the future. I've always wanted to say, I want to fix Starfleet. For me, some of the stuff has not been fun. I want to get back to us having fun. I want to be up at the top so I can fix the documents so that you guys can have fun. I want to, do the budgets so that you guys can have fun. That you don't have to worry about where the money is, where it's going. That's kind of what I do. I've been managing a nonprofit association that's state mandated in my state of Texas. It's $6 million right now in the budget, in the coffers, and I manage that, and I can use that experience to hopefully work on Starfleet, so that we can have fun and fix the business part of it. One of you guys.
He just keeps giving me this.
This is Robert Westphal.
I get 10 seconds deducted.
This is Robert Westphal. Why do I want to be Commander Starfleet? Well, in all honesty, I have to blame a good friend of mine who decided that he was going to pick the wrong time to leave us. And I stepped in, albeit briefly, into a position that I hadn't looked at anymore. I was having fun doing what I did. I won't deny that when I was Chief of Operations, that was the dream job for me. But when I got in the position of acting CS and I was able to have access to more things than I had before, I saw real problems in the corporate side of things. I'm not promising to make anything more fun for anybody because I can't. What's fun for him, what's fun for him, what's fun for you is different than what's fun for me. I can't do that for you. But what I can do is try and get the organization at the corporate level back on track to make more time for you guys to have fun, so you don't have to worry about the problems there might be with the budget, problems with promotions, or wherever you see that their problems are, to get the corporation not so much fixed, but just reorganized, efficient, and moving forward into the future so that Starfleet can move into the future and we can continue to have fun.
This is Admiral Gumby again. Why do I want to be Commander Starfleet? Quite simply and honestly, to stop the bleeding. We are hurting in so many areas of Starfleet, whether it be membership processing, whether it be the communique, which is back on time now until it happens again. Just like membership processing, if the trains are running on time now until they're not. And the next time it happens, what are we going to do about it? Now, I'm the only candidate out of the entire slate of candidates that is offering you something different. I'm offering you professional membership management. I'm offering you digital communications. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
And I've been asked by our tech guy and by our audience, when you're not speaking, please mute your phone. We're getting some ridiculous echoes and feedbacks. I just thought that would make it more fun, give it kind of a ballpark effect. Apparently it's not popular.
Okay. Last blue one. Where does that work? Oh. Oh, okay, size, I think. All right, this is Reed Bates, and the question is region size, problem, or right size? I know this, is anybody from Region 1? My region is Region 3. It's just Texas and Louisiana. You can't hear me? Hello?
No, in the room.
Oh, okay.
Project.
Project.
From the diaphragm.
Theatrically. Don't worry, I've lost you.
All right. The question is region size. Is it a problem or is it right size? And on this, I know that some of the regions are rather big, and there's been many discussions over the last 10, 15 years to reduce the big one, especially Region 1, splitting it up. My region, Region 3, Texas and Louisiana, you think, okay, it's only 2 states. Texas is a big state. Louisiana is also growing. We have, I guess, like 530 something members in that area. Yeah. But I know Region 1 started at, it's now up to, what, 1,000? And they only have one AB member as a representative for the 8 states that they are in.
10 seconds.
So there, you know, we might need to look at this kind of splitting it up a bit. But it's been discussed for 10 years. That's it. There you go. Mute.
This is Steve Parley. The question is a region size problem or right size. I agree. Region 1 is one of our biggest regions. It does, with the size of it of 8 states, it does put a lot of stress on the regional coordinator and the staff. It would be something I believe that we should look into with the support of the region, of course, if it should be split in 2. But it's ultimately, you don't want to have something so big that one person or one staff member is going to be so stressed on it that it's going to cause a problem. I do agree that we should look at the size of the regions and see if it's feasible to split them up or if it would cause too much of an issue.
This is Admiral Gumby, and
I'm trying to help you.
this is Admiral Gumby, and I think Region 1 is just fine. I don't think Region 1 needs to be split up. I think if other regions want to become like Region 1, they should mirror Region 1. They should get out and recruit more. They should get out and launch more chapters. They should do it like Region 1 is doing it. Do like Region 1, become like Region 1. It's very simple. The people are out there. Star Trek fans are out there in large numbers. All we have to do is find the means of tapping that resource.
This is Robert Westfall. When it comes
I
to,
don't have you.
you don't have me?
Did you unmute?
Did I? I thought I unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I apparently didn't hit the button hard enough. Sorry. This is Robert Westfall. When it comes to region sizes and what's too big and what's too small, I think that's something that the region itself needs to determine. Yes, Region 1 has 1 RC for 1,000 members. Region 8 has 1 RC for 12 members. Are they too small? I mean, too big, too small, it's up to the region. If the region feels that they are too big, all they have to do is contact, petition the AB, the EC. We need to split this region. It's been done before. Region 13 came about in due part, or at least part of it, from a split off from Region 12. Oklahoma and Region 7, and Oklahoma has tried numerous times in the past to join Region 3. But if that's something that the region feels they want or need, there's the mechanism to do it. Just say so. It's not, I don't feel in my position to tell 1,000 people that you're too big. We're going to have to split you up and do it this way, while at the same time letting another region that only has a dozen or so members have the same amount of representation. I mean, what is fair? If the region's happy and it's working for them, let them stay that way. If it's not working for them, we can work on a process to make it work better, to divide them up in half, in thirds, in quarters, whatever it would end up being. But the region members need to be the ones that make that decision, not the CS.
I've been asked to remind everybody that other panels are taking place starting at 4 o'clock. If you're good here, your questions have been answered, please feel free to visit them. If not, we will be going for another 50 minutes. Ooh, we got a serious crowd. Oh, we got a serious crowd. I love it.
That was my turn again. I'd like that.
Yeah, take the pink one. Are you sure? Wait, let me make some up.
Pink, dark pink, medium pink.
This is Robert Westfall. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay, good. The question, are there any plans to network with the movie studios on future fan films? Frankly, and this is purely my opinion, and I will state this is not something that had ever crossed any of our campaign plans and everything, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here. My initial answer to that is no. Right now, there's already calls from certain members that Starfleet needs to distance itself from even having members who are taking part in the whole fan film debate now between Axanar and Exit and all the other different things. And I'm sorry, I'm not taking sides on any of those, because each of them, better for worse, are making a film over a topic that they love. We're all part of that same universe, if you will. What goes on between those fan film productions and the movie studios is not something that I feel Starfleet needs to get in the middle of. But I also don't feel that we should be going around quashing members' opinions of those different ventures. We need to stay out of it. Now, if and when, 10 years down the road or something, if the dust is settled and it's something that Starfleet feels that, hey, maybe a partnership with something here might benefit us, that's something to look at. But I don't believe Starfleet needs to be getting in the middle of the movie studios, fan film, the little copyright wars and stuff going on there, because all that's going to do is make us a big blip on a radar of some people that we don't want to be on the radar for.
This is Admiral Gumby.
I'll send you a bill.
Are there any plans to network with the movie studios on
very
future
low.
fan films?
Gumby,
No,
you're very low. I can barely hear you.
no.
Better. Oh, okay, well.
Well,
Briefest
you ducked
answer
in his
award
sense.
goes to.
This is
Short,
Steve.
sweet, to the point.
This is Steve Parmley. Like the other two candidates have said, this is not a question that's come across our campaign. I agree with Robert. For the time being, I believe Starfleet should stay out of it. We have stuff we need to fix at home before we try to get into the movie thing. But I agree with Robert. At least 10 years down the line before we actually try to get involved in movie studios, because we have stuff here in home that we need to fix before we try branching out to the movies and stuff like that.
This is Reed Bates, and the eloquence of Mr. Robert Westfall is our stance too. That's it.
Well, Gumby, you got a lot of choices here.
Pink and pink.
Wait, let me mix them up.
Give me a good.
Give you a
And
good
that I
one.
can't guarantee.
Why should I vote? Oh, this is Admiral Gumby again. Why should I vote for you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Why should I vote for you instead of one of the other candidates?
Ooh, now it's gonna be fun.
Because I'm Gumby, damn it.
And with that one-liner from Saturday Night Live, we're done for the day. Thank you all for coming.
Wow.
This is Steve Parmley. Why should you vote for me for commander? Or I'm not saying anybody should vote for me. I say everybody should take a consideration of all the campaigns, feel what you believe is right. Yes, I'm an outsider. I'm into the ABLE board and the ECAP, but I have a fresh perspective. I've had several SEALs come to me, and all I can say is you look at all campaigns before you make a choice. I'm not saying vote for me, because every one of these people sitting up here are friends of mine, and they're all very good candidates. But everybody needs to make their own opinion and look at the campaign material. Yes, even you, even my friend too. You too, Bonnie. I love
All
you
right,
too.
this is Reed Bates. I could have you, look at my website, our platform. But me personally, I'm a workhorse. I love doing the work. And I've hired, I believe, some really good people. Laura Victor, she's a godsend. I don't want to lose her. Gregory Franklin, he's a great guy. I've been enjoying having chats with him, and we've got some great plans for you guys. We are not all alike, as much as some people try to say. We have lots and lots of ideas, detailed ideas. They're spelled out on our website. I've already touched on some of them, the recruitment and retention, splitting that up, assisting the academy, Program Development Office. If you have an idea for a group, a subgroup, and because you have one person on your chapter who is a costumer, but nobody else on the chapter is, then you can maybe find another costumer in another group, and then they can get together and still be in Starfleet and enjoy each chapter's flavor, but then they can get together and talk about costuming. We also want to use like the forums on that we have now as the beta, the membership bulletin board. Many things. There you go. Read our website, teencoolchange.org. Oh,
Just want to make sure I got the question. Okay. It's Robert Westfall. Why should you vote for me instead of one of the other candidates? Because I'm not Dumby, Gammit. See, I don't have a catchy line like him. I have to in a way agree with my fellow candidate up here, Mr. Parmley. I would love for you to vote for me. I would love for you to believe that what Team Westfall Tool is talking about and saying that we're going to do because it needs to be done for Starfleet is what you as the members feel is best for the organization. But more than voting for me, what I want you to do, all 48 some odd hundred members of you, is to exercise that right to vote. Too often in Starfleet's history, the person who sits in that center seat, if you will, as Commander Starfleet, is elected by less than 25% of this organization. I'd love if you vote for me. Vote for Gumby, vote for Steve, vote for Reed, vote for Robin, even though she's not here. But get out and vote. Read the platforms, read the information that comes in your communique, and determine what group and what they're telling you is best for the future of this organization. And participate, because the decisions are made by those who show up. Be it promotions, be it CS, be a member. Exercise that right you have, make a decision, and vote. I think you picked that this one too. Okay, so.
Tough choice.
yeah.
This is Steve Parmley. My question is, what would I do to prevent in the future a repeat of what happened when Wayne passed away? That's hard. Wayne was a very good CS and a very good friend. We do have an elected VCS. At the time, I believe we did not have one confirmed yet. But that's why we have a VCS and the Chief of Operations. That's why we have a chain of command. Just like what happened, we did not have a sitting VCS, and Robert stepped up as CS, and he did his job. So all I can say is we have a chain of command with the Admiralty Board and the ECAB. So if God forbid, if that ever happens again, that hopefully the system that took place when Robert stepped up would happen again. And I believe that's the best answer I can give on something like that.
This is Reed Bates. And yes, it was very unfortunate what happened, and the timing. There's just as we keep saying, our documents. There's certain documents that the bylaws and everything they're conflicting, and so it was very confusing. And I think that the EC did a good job, and the AD did a good job in getting a little advice from an attorney. Although we need to fix it so that we have things more clearly defined at what the progression of the chain of command is in all situations. We got to think about them and get them written down. But if there is a conflict in the future, that's what we can do, is we can ask an attorney, spend some money, maybe, or not. Hopefully not. We need to revise our documents.
Go ahead.
It was just so used to passing, I was just going to do it.
This is Robert Westfall. what I would do to prevent something like this, if I had it in my power to do so, would be to go back in time and prevent it from happening. But unfortunately, we can't do that. What happened was not anything that anyone who had any part in writing our governing documents at any point in time in this organization's history could have foreseen. The problem came in with the wording of those documents, and again, it comes into play. Everyone had a different interpretation of those. But the system worked. It may not have worked as fast as we wanted it to, but it worked. The AB did their job as the final authority in determining what that policy meant. You may not agree with their decision, you may not like their decision, doesn't matter. The system worked. Now, yes, we have learned from that experience that there are certain parts of our governing documents that do need to have the language clarified. But no matter how many times we revise these documents or anything, we cannot anticipate every possible scenario that could happen. And God forbid we ever have to face this one again.
10 seconds.
But the system worked, so I wouldn't necessarily change anything except rely on the people that the regions put into place to make those decisions.
This is Admiral Gumby again. Hi, how you doing?
You
What
barely
would
hear
you do
I mean,
to
go ahead. We barely hear you.
It helps if I turn it this way. Turn it over to mute, turn it upside down to unmute.
There you go, that's simple.
What would you do to prevent in the future a repeat of what happened when Wayne passed? Well, the simple fact is that our governing documents don't work. They conflict, they're hard to read, they're even harder to understand. Trust me, I have a slide rule at home and I can't figure this out. So what I would do is I would quite simply form a committee to examine our governing documents, where they conflict, and come up with a list of recommendations that the AB can vote on so that our governing documents no longer conflict.